Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all that children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere, Yuletide by the fireside, and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, families drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere, Yuletide by the fireside, and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, families drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm pretty much done with my turkey for the rest of, well, till next year. So happy to see you all. Lovely tree this morning. All the decorations look really beautiful. So we're into the winter Christmas time. Here we go. Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. While the door's unlocked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. You'll find the place of rest in the arms of spirit. God's waited so long for your homecoming day. God knows the peace you seek and the hurt you're feeling. Spirit wants to hold you and to wipe the tears away, while the Father waits with open arms. And God is calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. there's room enough in the house of love for someone just like you. Come on in and welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now, no matter where you've been. Come on in and welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now, no matter where you've been. Come on in. Come on in and welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now, no matter where you've been. Yes, come on in and welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now, no matter where you've been. Yes, come on in.
And good morning and Merry Christmas, everyone. I know it looks like Mr. and Mrs. Claus are here. I'm actually Bev Spivey, posing as Mrs. Claus, and happy to be here with my husband, Reverend Lawrence Palmer. We look forward to leading you into Advent and the holiday season today. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to our live streamers and those of you on Facebook Live. You know, we have several new people that have been coming out through these 2 years. And I keep telling them what a warm and welcoming congregation we have. But I think we're up to about 50 attending now. We have plenty of space, and it's plenty safe in here. Everybody wears masks, so don't let COVID be your obstacle. I have a feeling that some of you are just very comfortable at home, still in your jammies. And the rest of us Lawrence and I never did get out of the habit of every Sunday, but it's a learning curve there. So come on out. It's a holiday time. It's a time to be together. Some of you really have this as your basic family, your spiritual family. In Florida especially, we pick up a lot of folks who are on their own and maybe far from family or even estranged from family. So get into the holiday spirit and come on out and share this time with us. You'll always enjoy our professional musicians, led by James McCoy.
Good morning. We're very fortunate to have with us once again Mr. Peter Wallace at the piano, Mr. Jeff Renza at the drum sets. Of course, our featured soloist is Samantha Natalie Wallace. And of course, you recognize the song that we started there with, Christmas Time is Here. Probably one of my favorite holiday songs for sure, and the music of Vince Guaraldi. And today, I don't get to say this very often, but we have music from Darius Rucker and Taylor Swift. How often do you get to say that at church?
All righty, and you know, we have a lot of things going on. Basically, we decided at our last board meeting, you know what, we've had it, we're back. We won't open Fellowship Hall quite yet for full fellowship afterwards, but we're figuring out how to do that safely. But we are back with all of our usual activities and things going on that we offer you, and we'd really appreciate you coming out to support these things. Kind of your vote of confidence that we're on the right track with bringing Unity of Pompano back into mainstream life here. So coming up this week is book club, first Wednesday of every month. And then on Saturday, the 11th, in Fellowship Hall, we're going to be having the women's meeting in Fellowship Hall for the very first time. Our own Director of Operations, Reverend Darby Line, is going to be sharing about oils, healing oils of the ancient scriptures, frankincense, myrrh, and more, and of course, oils of today. So come on out for that. Some of you are familiar with information I put together, I guess 10 or 11 years ago now, on the meaning of Christmas. What are myths? What are facts? What is it about Christmas, even metaphysically? How do we look at it being a progressive church now that separated somewhat from the old ancient theology that's still taught in Christian churches? So how do we enjoy Christmas with maybe different belief systems going on, and what do you do with that? So Tuesday evening on Zoom, So everybody can attend. Tuesday evening, December 14th, 7 o'clock, meaning of Christmas. And I have PowerPoint slides, and we'll have some discussion on that. All the information about everything we're talking about is on our website, unitybeach.org. The other thing we're bringing back is our drumming circles. So Solstice, December 21st, is, I think, a Tuesday night also. And at Pompano Beach Park in the area, you'll find it. Drum. 7 o'clock. We hope you'll come out for all that. James, am I fading?
Yeah, the batteries are dying. That's why it's doing
Oh, never fear. We have batteries here. Okay. Next week, we're going to be announcing a Christmas donation project that we will have. So stay tuned. I know it helps us to get into the spirit of giving. So we'll have that for you next week. As we've had this year on the theme of how to stay centered no matter what, we've been using one of our 12 powers every month for our lessons. This month is still November. The theme has been release. The affirmation is, whatever I release will bless me. Ponder on that. Whatever I release will bless me. Lawrence will speak to us more, but let's first ourselves in the Christmas tradition with our, what is it? Oh, come, all ye faithful. If you know the words, feel free to sing along.
Oh, come,
All ye faithful,
joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore in Christ the Lord. Yet would we greet thee on this happy morning, Jesus, to thee we all glory give. Word of the Father, now in flesh appearing. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore in Christ the
Good morning. I'm Dina Shimmick, for all of you that I don't already know and love, and today I'm honored to be reading the daily word for the first candle of Advent. Tonight is the first night of Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. For all of you that celebrate, I will be lighting that candle this evening, so I'm honored to light the candle for Advent this morning. Harold is requesting potato latkes, so if anyone knows how to make them as good as my grandmother, please do. Okay, so hope and faith. This Advent, my hope leads me to unwavering faith in God. My belief in goodness of the world, others, myself, and God begins with hope. Maybe hope is all I can muster after a period of doubt or disappointment. As I feel hopeful, I begin to believe that new possibilities and better outcomes are available to me. My hopeful feelings lead to faith, a certainty that goodness I could only sense before is the actual nature of life. With faith, I now direct my thoughts towards goodness, wholeness, and my heart's desires. With gratitude for my awakening, I use faith to dismantle doubt and limitation. I hold only the best thoughts for myself. I know and feel in the depths of my soul that the good I desire is already mine. With unwavering faith and deep gratitude, I claim it now. And the scripture is from Psalm 62:5. For God alone my soul waits in silence, for my hope is from him.
For Christmas this year, I know exactly what you'd like, and I know you know I want the same things too. And I wish that I could give to you all your heart desires, and to see your face on Christmas Day when all your dreams come true. But a worldwide understanding and peaceful people everywhere is something that right now is beyond my reach. But we can try and do it simply. We can do it from the heart. Give presents that we know will never fade. And with all the ones we love and everyone we know, step by simple step, I know that we'll achieve in our homes at least a world that's filled with peace, a world that's filled with peace.
I invite you now, wherever it is that you may be, sitting here together in the sanctuary or at home in your car, not driving. I invite you to bring your heart together in our spiritual communion, where we share the blessings of Spirit. As we have lit the first candle of Advent today and are reminded of the power of light during this season, I invite you to turn your attention to the light within you. I know that because of the challenges of life, some of you don't feel like you have a very bright light. Whatever light is there, I invite you to focus on it, bring your attention to it, and honor it, however small or great it may be. Imagine sitting in a very comfortable chair in a dark room except for the light. And imagine a candle sitting on a table in front of you that represents the light that is within you. Again, it may be a very tiny candle and a tiny light, or it may be a huge candle or many candles and a bright light. Honor what is there. In this moment, you need not wish for more. You need not feel less if your light is not completely bright. But just know that that very small light, that very large light, is the presence of Spirit within you. We want to take time to honor that light and what it brings to us. So give your body permission to relax and let go and let be. Give your mind permission to refrain from thinking and planning and figuring things out. With mind at ease and body at ease, your awareness is free to fully participate in this honoring of the light that is within you. So I invite you to give yourself into this time of reflection and being, honoring of that light, acknowledging the light, celebrating the light. Turn all of your attention in that direction, and Lord, let us join together in that reflection now. And now as you prepare to move your awareness back to your time and your space, you know that even an instant during which your awareness is immersed in that deep of your heart, that healing and transformation take place. And you know the honoring that you have experienced in recognizing the light within you will go with you. And as you go into this week, you know that you take all the blessings of this time and this stillness with you. And as you choose to, you can recall this time and be blessed all over again. So with a deep sense of gratitude for this time, I invite you to take a deep, slow breath in through your nose. Hold it for a moment. Exhale slowly, deliberately through your mouth. When you're ready, open your eyes as we sing together, Alleluia.
keeping all my dreams inside, and I've been saying all my prayers at night, waiting on the sun to shine its light on the possibilities. 'Cause I ain't done living the life I've meant to lead, and I ain't done loving the ones who care for me. The hope and the strength and the love and the smiles and the laughter of friends and family, add it up, you'll find no limit to the possibilities. The left and the right and the faith and the fight and the courage is all you'll ever need to help us to believe in the possibilities. I've been keeping all my fears inside, and I've been keeping all my doubts alive. I should be putting all my tears aside for the possibilities. Ooh, 'cause I ain't done living the life I've meant to lead, and I ain't done loving the ones who care for me. The hope and the strength and the love and the smiles and the laughter of friends and family, add it up, you'll find no limit to the possibilities. The left and the right and the faith and the fight and the courage is all you'll ever need to help us to believe in the possibilities. Standing up and feeling strong, I'm singing out a hopeful song, waiting for the world outside to sing it back to me. Now I'm feeling the ocean shore, I'm reaching to the moon to make sure that all my dreams come true. 'Cause I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna walk out of this room. Yes, I'll walk out of this room. Oh, the hope and the strength and the life and the love and the laughter and friends and family. Hey, yeah. The hope and the strength and the love and the smiles and the laughter of friends and family, add it up, you'll find no limit to the possibilities. The left and the right and the faith and the fight and the courage of all that's meant to be, you always know it's there, all the possibilities. Oh yes, all the possibilities. So here's to the hope and the strength and the love and the smiles and all the possibilities. Yes, all the possibilities. All the possibilities. Ooh.
Thank you, band. My goodness. You know, when you have something that's really, really good over and over and over and over again, you tend to take it for granted. Don't you dare ever take this for granted. Yeah. We're really proud of them. Well, how many of you have leftover turkey? Yeah, we make turkey sandwiches and turkey stew and turkey salad and all kinds of things. Well, I've got an issue because I got leftover turkey stories. And you can't waste it, right? So just to finish out Thanksgiving and set that aside, I got to ask you, why did the cranberries turn red? They saw the turkey dressing. What does the incoherent turkey say? Garble, garble, garble. And just one more. Why did the turkey cross the road twice? To prove he wasn't chicken. It's so hard to stop cold turkey. Yeah? All right, that does it. That's it right there. Well, today's an interesting day because I'm finishing up the series on Let Live, or Let Go, and it's also the first Sunday of Advent. And that's kind of been an interesting combination, and you can let me know afterwards how well you think I blended those two things together, because I want to give some attention to both of them. So let's begin with a review of what we've done this month. I began with let go, and you've all used that phrase, let go and let God, and I think there's more to it than just that, and I've shared that with you. But when it comes to letting go, we sometimes have things in our life that are worn out, things that have served their purpose. We don't need them anymore. Sometimes those are thoughts, sometimes feelings, sometimes situations, sometimes people that we need to just let go of. And we talked about how to do that and make that work. We also talked about letting go as being part of our spiritual growth as well. So when we let go, we release it, let it go on by. When something comes up, you've done everything that you can do, everything that you think is reasonable to do. What do you do then? You let go of it. And the next step then is not just letting go, but letting God. Inviting Spirit to participate in turning those things over to Spirit that you are done with and that you don't have the means or the interest or whatever else to spend more time on. Let Spirit do it, because we know that in all things, Spirit is working for our good. So we let go, we let God, but you know, God has God's own time schedule and methods of operation. And sometimes we don't know what those are, and we're ready to have it right now. So after we let God, after we invite Spirit to take care of things, it's important that we let be. Say, okay, I've let go, I've turned it over to Spirit. Now, ever how long it takes, it'll be how long it takes. However it is that Spirit works this thing out, that's the way Spirit's going to work it out, and that's cool. It can be that way. Now, even then, I feel like that's not quite finished yet. Let's see if there's something else that would bring that to a resolution. And I came to the idea of let live. Now, it is an important thing for us to do our spiritual work. But I do believe that there are times when we get so intentional about our intentionality. Sometimes we get so focused on our healing. Sometimes we get so concerned about spiritual growth that we forget to live. We forget to use some of our energy, some of our attention just for living. Now, Jesus said, I've come that you might have life miserably. I don't think so. He said, I've come that you might have life abundantly. Let us live that way. And sometimes we forget to do that. We get so engaged in so many other things that we really forget to live. Now, one of my favorite scriptures is Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 24. A person can do nothing better than to eat and drink and find satisfaction in their own work. This, too, I see as a gift from the hand of God. Now, this dynamic of let go, let God, let be, let live is important for us. And it requires some attention and some focus and some effort, even that. But it's still important that we look at living. Now, we have something called the Sabbath. You know the story in Genesis. God worked for 6 days and he was tired. So there was the seventh day added for rest. Now, sometimes we think about the Sabbath as doing nothing. And that may be the case. For you, a Sabbath may be to sit down and do nothing, and that's all right. But there are other components, pieces and parts of the Sabbath that are important for us too. Because the Sabbath is about rest. Now, I know for some people who sitting down and doing nothing would make them crazy. I'm kind of one of those. So that is not Sabbath for me. That is not really rest for me. And there are all kinds of things that you can do for a Sabbath. Going for a walk, for some people, is very restful. For some people, working with wood is restful. Some people, gardening is restful. Anything that nurtures your soul and replenishes that energy that you expend in everything else that's going on, that can be your Sabbath. That can be your rest. So it's important that we include that component in our life in some way or another. Now, in modern times, the Sabbath is a bit different than it used to be. For those of you who grew up in a traditional religion, as I did, and grew up in Southern Baptist, you might have heard the encouragement that we shouldn't work on Sunday. God doesn't want us working on Sunday. And I heard that a lot growing up. You shouldn't work on Sunday. And where I grew up, if you better have gas in your tank on Saturday, because there was nothing open on Sunday. You would not get gas on Sunday. A very different world now, of course. But even as a kid, I kind of wondered, why do we go on and on so much about how terrible it is to work on Sunday, but we got lights in here? Somebody's operating machinery that provides us electricity to make us lights. What about those people? I thought that was a little bit hypocritical, They would criticize these people who are working to provide what we can have so we can be here and sit here and be holy. It's a little bit like in India. There are parts of India where the cow is sacred. And the people who slaughter the cows and make leather and everything are outcast. But those people, same people who outcast them will wear the shoes made out of the leather of the cows they kill. That's the way I felt like we dealt with Sabbath when I was growing up, just a little bit anyway. And then I began to realize Sabbath is about rest. So Sabbath is about whatever it is that nurtures your heart and nurtures your soul. And Sabbath doesn't have to be a whole day. Sabbath can be a half a day. So many of you may work in some way or another on Sunday or part of Sunday. Taking a half a day for a Sabbath is great. Taking an hour for Sabbath is great. And I got that down to a 3-breath Sabbath. In the midst of everything you got going on, stop and take 3 very deliberate deep breaths. You might imagine inhaling light and exhaling anything you don't need. Inhaling joy and exhaling anything that interferes with that joy. But just 3 breaths. Said, there you go. And you feel refreshed. So don't let the Sabbath go by without you. But we move from letting go, letting God, letting be, to letting live. Now let's look at living in 2 different ways. One is from a passive viewpoint. And again, when we hear passive, we often think of doing nothing, not acting, whatever. It's not quite that either. There are things to do in being with passive living. Now, you hear a lot around here about meditation and prayer and study and discipline and all of those things. And all those things are certainly important. But we can do those things in a different way. How often do you meditate just to meditate? Most of the time we meditate, we're looking for an answer, right? We're looking for peace. We're looking for healing. We're looking for forgiveness. We're looking for acceptance. So meditation is work for us, and that's okay. That's good work. But what about meditating without the work? Just for the sake of meditating. Do you have anybody that you really love who every time they talk to you, they want something? And about the only time they talk to you is when they want something. Well, what about when we meditate only when we want something? We're missing something here. What about meditating just for the sheer joy of meditating? Just for the sheer experience of meditating. Just sitting in the silence and being. Don't miss that. Don't let that go by. When we pray, very often what is it? Oh God. And we're needing something, we're wanting something. How about praying when you don't need anything? I often tell people when I do counseling with them and they're appreciative of the time, I said, well, I'm very glad to be here and have you share your concerns with me, but why don't you come by sometime when you're happy? And let's just sit here and be happy together, right? That's important for us too. That's part of living as well. Bev and I had an experience the other night that was unusual for us and something I think we're going to do again along the way. I was sitting down reading and she was, I think, finishing up in the kitchen and waiting for, we've got a show on TV that we follow along. And I was still reading. She came and got her book for book club, which happens on the first Wednesday night of every month. And John Spear does a great job with that from what I've heard. So she got her book club book and came and sat down right beside me on the sofa. And we've got a reading lamp over here, so she started reading. And we read for 2 hours, I guess. We didn't even talk about anything. We didn't touch each other. We didn't do anything. We just sat there and read together. And it was wonderful. We didn't do anything. It was very passive, but it was wonderful. How many of those things are we missing in life by not participating in that passive kind of experience? You don't always have to be doing something. It's okay to do that, but you don't have to. Don't miss the passive aspect of deliberately living. Now, what about the active side of living? Doing things that would be happy and good for you. And we stop and think how many times we don't do that. You know, how many of you like walking on the beach, being near the water? That's a pretty cool experience. We live, a mile from the beach. We could drive there in about 3 minutes. We could walk there in not much longer than that. You know how many times we've done that? Yes. We've gone other places, but just to say, okay, let's go to the beach. Let's do that. That active part of living, we've missed that. We've let it go by. Do you realize that there are more than 4 dozen parks in Broward County? There are national parks, there are state parks, there are county parks, there are city parks, there's community parks, all over the place. And most of them are free. How many have you seen? When's the last time you got away from COVID and went out and took a walk in nature? It's wide open spaces, very few people, it's very safe. That's living, to go and experience something that feeds you like that. How many of you lately deliberately watched a sunrise or a sunset? I'll tell you, that's something that's amazing for me. Where we live, we got too many trees around us to see it right there. See just a little bit of it right there. But there's some places you can go and park and watch the sunset and sunrise and let that feed you. Just enjoy that. That's part of active living. So nature is there and it's free and it's wonderful. How many of you know how many museums there are in Broward County? There are more than 2 dozen, at least, museums in Broward County. How about taking time and going and walking through a museum and looking at some of the wonderful things that are there? All kinds of different things you find in museums. How about art galleries? How many art galleries are there in Broward County? A lot of them. How about going to an art gallery sometime and enjoying the handiwork that people have done, the amazing skill that people have and the creativity they have. It's right there in front of you that you can see it. You don't have to do anything about it. You just look at it and it blesses you. It nourishes you. That's important to do that kind of thing. Here's a good thing to do. Go to a really, really exclusive, expensive art gallery and walk around like you're deciding to buy something. And just enjoy it. And tell the folks we'll see you again sometime when I finish my decorating plans. Here's a good one. If you have interest in cars, go to a very exclusive car dealership and look around. I sat in a $115,000 sports car a while back. Put my hands on the steering wheel and sat back in that. It was wonderful. Didn't cost me a dime. Frustrated the heck out of the salesman, but other than that, there's so many things that we can do to actively live. Don't forget about it. Yes, do your spiritual work. Yes, do your meditation and your prayer and your study and your sharing. Put your attention there, but please take time to live. That's why we're here. To have this abundant life. Don't let that go by. Don't miss that. There was something else I had there in my head that I didn't write down. But that will give you ideas about what to do for you. I will impress on you the idea, the importance of our active, both passively and actively living. Let go, let God, let be, let live. One other thing let me mention. You're going to hear all about this in January. Much, much more. I just want to tease you a little bit. This phrase popped into my mind the other day in meditation. Need a call? Make a call. Need a call? make a call. You're going to hear more about that a little bit later on. So I invite you to go into this first week of Advent. We've lit the candle, the light is shining. This week of faith and hope. Scriptures tell us that faith without works is dead. And I would paraphrase that a little bit to say faith without living is dead. And we have faith. If you're breathing, you have faith. Let us put that into living and experiencing. And also this day of Advent is about hope. Now, this is one of those places where the biblical word means something different than the way we usually use it. Hope in ordinary conversation is wishing. I hope it doesn't rain tomorrow. I hope I get there on time. I hope the flight's on time. I wish, although I'm afraid it's not going to be. That's the way it is most. That's not hope. That's not biblical hope. Biblical hope is assurance. Biblical hope is knowing. When the psalmist says, my God is my hope, it's not my God is my wish. My God is my knowing, my assurance, my confidence. That's what happened when we live. So during this time of Advent, especially this coming week, let your hope be expressed in active living. Make it real. Care about those around you and let them care about you. Let go, let God, let be, let live. God bless you, my friends.
As we prepare for this time of giving, and I see James and the musicians coming, another thing you can do for a wonderful living experience is pay attention to where some of our professionals here are performing during the week. Many of them have regular gigs at some of the establishments around. And, one thing we used to do, and maybe together, we just pick a place and a time, and whoever can come meet there. We have times where we meet as a spiritual gathering at one of our local restaurants. So we have a lot coming up that we can do. But I tell you, we don't want to just sit there and look at each other. 4 of you remembered to come yesterday and put up the garland and the tree. Nancy Showerty and Laura Newman handled the garlands, and Angela Katzen and Peggy Smith did most of the tree. Patty remembered late, but she got here, and so did Jim Patilla. So I know it's kind of different now with not having our usual things, but usual is back. So we welcome your involvement. Unity of Pompano only has the 1 paid staff of Darby, and we depend so much on volunteers. So our ushers are starting up again. Chaplains, we welcome you back. And fellowship team, we'll be putting that together so we can be in fellowship hall. So whether you're new or have been here many years, think about how you can get into life and give of your time to bring us back into a full service Unity community. And what everybody can do is share of your finances. So now is our giving time. I ask you to consider that as well. Are you placing any value on what you get here? If so, we would appreciate your donation so that we can continue with all of our plans for giving. So let us hold our offering either in hand or in mind. If you're home, there's a donate button on the website, unitypompanobeach.org, if you're on Facebook. Some of you give monthly with ACH or some other form of bill pay. We have a texting to donate line. So many ways to give. Let us think about the joy of giving as we anticipate this Advent season being so full of many remembrances of joy and giving. We bless these gifts with great gratitude, knowing that we will continue to share with others, and so it is. Amen. We have the offering plates to pass, but we also have a plate in the center at the back aisle. If you want to stand up and put your gift there, you may. Where's mine?
Are you ready? This is the Taylor Swift Christmas song. It sounds like an oxymoron, it's not. Ready? 1, 2.
What if ribbons and bows didn't mean a thing? Would the song still survive without 5 golden rings? Would you still want to kiss without mistletoe? What would happen if God never let it snow? What would happen if Christmas carols told a lie? Tell me, what would you find? You'd see that today holds something special, something holy, not superficial. So here's to the birthday boy who shared his life. It's something we all try to ignore and put a wreath up on your door. So here's something you should know that is for sure. Christmas must be something more. What if angels did not pay attention to all the things that we wish they would always do? What if happiness came in a cardboard box? Man, I think there is something we all forgot. What would happen if presents all went away? Tell me, what would you find? You'd see that today holds something special, something holy, not superficial. So here's to the birthday boy who shared his life. It's something we all try to ignore and put a wreath up on your door. So here's something you should know that is for sure. Christmas must be something more. We get so caught up in all of it, business and relationships, 100-mile-an-hour lives. And it's this time of year, and everybody's here. It seems the last thing on your mind is that the day holds something special, something holy and not superficial. So here's to the birthday boy who shared his life. This thing we try to all ignore and put a wreath up on your door. So here's something you should know that is for sure. Christmas must be something. Christmas must be something. Christmas must be something more. There's gotta be more. Ooh, there's just gotta be more. Oh,
Well, thank goodness Dina is here today, our head of our chaplain ministry. We have something very special starting this week, and it's important for me to remember it because Lawrence and I are leading it. We begin our weekly prayer circle this week, right over in the prayer chapel, the first room on the right, at 2 o'clock on Wednesdays. Lawrence and I, either or both, and one of our chaplains or many, but it will be hosted by a prayer chaplain or me or Lawrence, every week from here on out. So come, it's a prayer circle where you will have a chance to speak out your concerns, your prayer ideas, and then we will lead all of us in the unity style of affirmative prayer. So if you're not familiar with how we do that, it's also a learning experience. So come on out and make Wednesdays at 2 o'clock your personal prayer time. So with that being said, I think I'm finally done with announcements, but let's stand and bless each other. And we so enjoy seeing each of you here and are welcoming these holidays and the feeling of the holiday spirit. So with the unity blessing, the light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with Blessings are falling, are falling, are falling. Blessings are falling like a sweet, sweet rain. Blessings are falling, are falling, are falling on me. Beauty is falling, is falling, is falling. Beauty is falling like a sweet, sweet rain. Beauty is falling, is falling, is falling on me. Oh Lord, I receive your blessing. Oh Lord, I receive your grace. Oh Lord, I will dance forevermore. Oh Lord, I receive your blessing. Oh Lord, I receive your grace. Oh Lord, I will dance forevermore. Oh Lord, I receive your blessing. Oh Lord, I receive your grace. Oh Lord, I will dance forevermore. Oh Lord, I receive your blessing. Oh Lord, I receive your grace. Oh Lord, I will dance forevermore. Forevermore. Forevermore.